Oh, that's a bit of a delay, isn't it? Hi everybody, sorry about that. I'm checking on the Twitch right now. It looks... Oh man, I'm really staring off into space for a while. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay, cool. I think we're up and running. Let me know if anything is too loud or not working. Just yell out in the chat and I'll give it a look-see and we'll get it all fixed up. So, sorry about that little delay. One of the things that is kind of... Excuse me. No, Joe Maxro, the room is not black. It is bright and really rather barren at the moment, but we'll be working on that. You'll have to excuse me too if I'm a little gurgly today. I'm shaking off a thing, I think. It's been kind of a weird, not really sick week, but kind of sick week. You know how that goes. I am currently trying to log in. Oh, wrong password. Currently trying to log in to my drive because frick. Because let's see. Okay, let's do this one more time. Oh, right, because caps lock is broken. That's great. Neat, it worked this time. Cool. Okay. So this should have all been taken care of. Again, we're having some issues with the network currently. I was unable to go into the the usual folder and find the thingy. So I had to go into my drive and find the thingy that we're gonna work on today. Because yeah, we would kind of need that. I mean, we could just keep drawing these great smiley faces. I did this one when I got my my tablet to talk to the computer, and Stephanie drew this one in response sometime later, so we had a nice little communication going there. Lovely. There we are. Found you. And let's give that a download. Download anyway. And we're off to the races. So, shouldn't have any more little errors, and we can jump right in. Okay. I think we've got it. And you just give this a copy. If it'll let me. Hopefully all of this will behave itself. Public desktop still, everything in its place. Art streams, yes, neat. Are we here? Ah, good, there we go. All right, great. Thanks everybody for bearing with me there. Though all things considered, compared to some of the other times we've had technical difficulties on my streams, that went quite smoothly. Hi everybody, welcome to, shoot, where's the thing? Welcome to Stonehearth dev stream number 270. I'm Allie. I am a concept artist on Team Stonehearth, and it is my job to come up with the way stuff looks and work on icons and all that stuff, and that's actually what we're going to do a little bit today, because as you can see here on our lovely Photoshop screen here, is some of our trait icons, and these are not all of them. So I'm trying to see if, you know, if we toggle through the layers, we might be able to see some of the fun ones that didn't quite make it. But yes, these are not all of them. So if you've been playing Stonehearth recently, you will probably have noticed that now Hearthlings have like qualities about them. When you first meet them in your little roster window, and you can kind of see what they're all about, see little things that make them individual. And there's more of those to come. And coming down the pipeline in particular are a couple of them, so I thought we could jam on those tonight while we're all here together online. Catch up a little bit. So make sure nothing's frozen. So yeah, hopefully that'll be super fun. So this is always kind of interesting. There are a couple of rules. So there's like actually an entire style guide. Let me see if I can access that I threw together about making these things. So you can't just like draw it any old which way. It won't match everything. So if I can, here it is. So a while ago, I threw this guy together, and what we have here is the official trait icon style guide, which shows you basically everything you need to know about making icons that look like they belong to this particular family, which is super important because obviously, well, this little batch here is kind of like a sampling that was sort of proving whether or not the rules worked, so to speak. But they're not all here. I didn't even really know what the entire list was going to be when I did this. We just needed to know that we would have like a nice place for that look to live and something that we could go back into and expand upon. So we might have started with, you know, 10 traits or so. Oh, a train is coming. You guys are probably going to hear a train, so yeah, that's happening. So we can come back in later on as we continue to add new ideas and new traits and still make sure that everything holds together. Interesting. Hello, Renegade, Renegade Pig? Renegade... You'll have to let me know how you want that pronounced. And sorry, as always, if I screw up the pronunciation of anybody's name. And again, I was off to a bit of a rocky start today looking for my file and having a bit of a time multitasking there, but thank you everybody for joining our stream today, and I hope you're excited, because I'm pretty excited. It's a bit of a surprise. I'm not really due to be online with you guys for a few more weeks, but we had a bit of a shift in schedule, so we get to kind of hang out early, and I'm actually also super excited because we actually have something cool that we can work on together. So as I was saying, so this whole like thingamabob was thrown together so that later on when we come back in, like we're going to do today, we can come up with other cool new designs that fit what they're supposed to stand in for, whatever trait they're supposed to represent, but also look cool together. So these are all like knocked out like this, that they're super easy to access, and basically it's like everything needs to be represented with some kind of unique object. So if you imagine these like a charm or an individual item that Hearthling might have like embarked with, something that they would have on their person, like a lantern or a book. So each thing really is kind of like a metaphor for the bigger idea, not ever really super direct. Sorry, Renegade, it is an eerily empty room for now. It is new and shiny. And, oh, hi, Surrenderies. We have a lot of our posters just kind of like hanging out in the corner over there, so give it time, we'll figure it out. But for now, just imagine that it is full of amazing things. So yeah, this is our first week in the new building, and it's super amazing. Everybody who's been putting this together has done such an awesome job, and we are so fortunate and so spoiled right now. It's also really big. Like, I can't believe how many big. But anyway, so here's our rule book, so to speak. This is the things that we're going to follow so that we know that the designs we're making today, although they're probably just going to be sketches for now because we have some tricky ones to come up with. As I was saying before we started talking about the room a little bit, if you imagine each of these icons as like a charm or some kind of thing that Hearthling would have on their person, something that they would carry with them, and then you think about the kinds of things that traits are, not everything translates directly, so you gotta get a little tricky with it. And over here is a little list I knocked out of some of the things that are gonna need some ideating, and hopefully we can all kind of chime in on this and come up with some cool stuff. So on the roster today is Professor, Charismatic, Opinionated, Jokester, which actually this Jester hat here was a sample icon made for Jokester, so I don't think we need to do that one. Gregarious and Loner, which are two like polar opposites. One very outgoing, very like will start a conversation, will rile everybody up and have a good time. One like, you know, really likes to be around people. And then Loner, who really doesn't. Happier on their own, you know, more of a quiet, more of a go in the corner, read a book. Peace. And empathetic. Wait, stream, focus, yes. Just draw on the walls, but Bruno Supremo, we have things we have to do. Let's see. Aha, there's my stylus. I put it over somewhere where I would absolutely not lose it and immediately lost track of it. So cool. Alright, so let's take it from the top. Like I said, oh wow, sketch 4, I have once again managed to name my layers things that don't make any freaking sense. So from the top, and once again, before we get into it, I think that we can scratch off Jokester because we've got this guy here. And that was sort of always intended to be the Jester. Oh, hey, Joe Maxtro, you've got to go back for a baby shower tomorrow morning. Oh, man, thanks for popping in. And have a great time. And hello, Dovahkiin. Oh, hey, Surrenderies has popped up with an... For the professor, could you use the old-style professor hats from days long past? Oh, this will be good. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, yes! Like with the little hat and whatever. Tassel. That's the word I'm looking for. That's happening. Okay, so that's a really cool idea. Alright, so yeah, let's jump right in. So we've got Professor at the top here, and right off the bat we have like this kind of idea for one of these kind of like awesome Kulig hats. Let's just do a little rough sketch really quick. Okay, so trade icons are okay. What else could we think? So we thought of a graduation hat. These are gonna look like really cruddy for a minute. There's also like a tome I think could work well. We've already got like this little flat book right here, which I think that could be something good, but like maybe even like an open tome. I know we could just write a list, but I like having the visuals with me. It just kind of helps me. Okay. So one of the big things about the trade icons is that they're always two-dimensional. They're always very flat. So if there is like something that is 3D, you have to imagine it like being smashed super 2D, almost like a stained glass depiction. A scroll maybe for simplicity. That's not a bad idea. Right, no circles. Oh hey, actually I forgot about this guy over here. This was the old what was it? The old passion trade icon. Before we opened up to all of these, so you could tell like at a quick glance what job your hearthlings really wanted to be. We had this one scroll, and it was supposed to represent the job change scroll in-game, but like all bundled up and wrapped up with a cool little thing. So maybe this could come in again and be something like, you know, like a diploma or some kind of certificate. That could be really cool. I like that, you know, on Shikarafe? You'll have to let me know how you want me to pronounce your name. Sorry if I've butchered that really quick. But what you've called out about simplicity is super important. Like these need to be able to read real fast, just at a glance. Honestly, like if we were to do something like this open tone, for instance, we wouldn't want to fill it up with like little scribbly scribbles, because when you see these, you're actually going to see them really far away most of the time, and that would just get muddy. And you'll see that these like have just big areas of big bright space and color, so there's really not any room for that. So yeah, that could be a cool idea. We could reuse the scroll. I don't know, I kind of associate apples with teachers. I know that's kind of obtuse, but I'll go ahead and draw it anyway. I just think about like kindergarten. There were all these like little posters of like an apple with a worm in them. And this is already breaking rules because it's more than one symbol. But it's cute. I think that won't work though. Gotta get out the bad ideas before you can get to the good ones, right? Rafe. Okay, cool. Sauce Hill says, I've been watching this game for years, but first time watching a stream. Welcome to the stream. I hope you chime in and have a good time calling some stuff out. So on the art streams, what we usually do is, honestly, for the past couple of times we've done this, I've always been like at the very beginning of something, so they've always been kind of like interactive brainstorm jams. So everybody's like throwing out ideas and we try stuff out. And it's really open and it's a lot of back and forth, and we also talk about the game as well too, in as much as that comes up. And then later on, when you actually see how these updates roll out, you get to actually see like how some of the stuff from the stream has turned out, which is super fun. Gotta have apple trees before you have apples. That's a really good point. We don't want to go promising something that we don't have. Mega Shove is calling out these two symbols for opinionated, I think. That could be fun. I actually thought because I think the function of opinionated is to always have like a positive or negative opinion of something, never a neutral one. So I had thought that maybe like some kind of like scales would be an interesting idea. Like they're always weighing in on something. Ha, it's a pun. It's a terrible pun. These scales are way too complicated at the moment, but that was the first thing that came to my mind, just in as much as like what it is. Phone, you need to go over here where you will not make noise. Cool. What if for opinionated they get a soapbox? That's a good one, Rafe. It's just a crate. That would be super funny. And again, I'm picking an angle, so in the spirit of keeping these things totally two-dimensional, I'm picking an angle that would show off many sides of it, but still be able to show it like super flat and stylized, rather than just drawing the crate from like straight up. So you would only see the front with a couple of little brackets or nails in it. You would actually see it such that a corner is facing out. That's really funny though, I love that idea. I don't know if it would read super well, but it's definitely noted. That's cute. Yeah, Megashub, there is that double meaning with scales, that it tends to have, like, justice connotations for it, and things like that. Alrighty. Okay. Super neat. So I really like that. Do we have any other ideas for Professor to call out before we pop on to the next one? Because there's a couple in here that are going to be real tricky to find something that works for him. There's always at least one or two. I think, what have been some of the really tough ones so far? These ones, funny enough, Optimist and Pessimist. We had this thing going for a while where we were trying to make it like a glass half empty and a glass half full, and it just like, it didn't work. We tried different colors. It looked like something weird. It was not so great. Another one that gave us a bit of a headache was when we were first investigating the passion icons. We'd already used like this little sword for courageous and this little golden hammer for Heart of a Crafter. So the idea of just like making super cute simplified versions of the talismans was kind of out the window. And I was kind of scrambling to like, oh man, how do we do this? Because these like work really well for what we've already designated them for. But then how do we solve that? And this was sort of the answer that we came up with for it. Or I say sort of, this was definitely the answer. Yeah, I think there are some outtakes in here. Yeah, you can see this was the original Carpenter scroll, and one of the things we wound up turning it on its side because it didn't read as well. And I think this was the first cook's pot. Pen for a professor, that's not a bad idea. Though I wonder if they would have that. I feel like you'd kind of get into Featherweight's iconography if you went with a quill. I'll still note it down. Tim Moore says the rain cloud makes him think of the Care Bears. Let's see. Professor could be math symbols. That's kind of a fun idea. How would we do a quill without stepping on its toes? So let's go ahead and draw a little arrow down here. Because it's got to be flat. And it's got to kind of have its own shape. So the silhouette of these is a really important factor to how they read at a distance. Yeah, I think I think if we did it that way, it would wind up looking pretty much exactly like Featherweight. We could try and turn it, but again, we don't really work with like things at extreme angles or like curly swoopy shapes. Like even this apple I doodled is like super rule breaky. Like a finished version would be super angular. Hey, an inkwell would be cool. In fact, oh, you know what? Shoot, we already used it. So this little guy is a potion bottle, but it would have made a really, really good inkwell. Poop. Welp. Okay, so, not bad, not bad. I think so far for oh wait, I didn't do math symbols. Those are little guys. Well, I don't know if that works so well. How about an owl? The owl was used for a symbol of knowledge in Greek mythology in combination with Athena, says Mingro. That's a really cool idea. We try to keep the things used for these icons as inanimate objects, so avoiding like explicit depiction of like animals or especially hearthlings. It's part of one of the things that keeps them unified is, though, I mean, it gets a little weird because you definitely wouldn't expect a hearthling to carry around a small fire. But maybe if it was just like a little owl face. Boop. I'm gonna definitely draw this because birds. If this is your first stream with me, then you should be warned. I'm very fond of birds. This looks like a weird cat, but essentially owls are cats. Flying cats. They eat mice and everything. A lectern. Don't know if I know what that is. That sounds familiar, though. Oh, okay, yeah. It's a little big. Ha, a little big. Yeah, I don't know if we could make that squish and be super adorable. It's kind of a big piece of furniture. It looks a little more like a writing desk. And even the writing desk, I don't think, is enough of like the single object status. Yeah, I'm looking at like related images right now, and it's just like microphones and whatever. Okay, so Rafe is saying, I'm guessing that the professor trait means they learn fast. I don't think that's how that one works, actually. But I don't remember off the top of my head exactly how it works, but I think it's something about how they are able to, shoot, I should open the doc. There's a chance of them ticking off an artisan, I think, but it's also that they can, like, do something positive as well. Like, there's a chance of them coming off as a know-it-all. But that might have been updated since the last time I saw the list. Mally says Professor Trait teaches others. I would think so, but I wonder how that... That's not what I remember reading. I'm gonna have to look at that again, I think. Cool, alright. We've got a couple of good ones here going on for Professor, then. Don't think the apple's gonna do it, much as I love it. Little hat guy, I think, could be super good. It's pretty academic. We could reuse the scroll. It's not as on the nose, but it's not bad. I'd love to find a way to get the quill to work, but I'm pretty sure it's just gonna come out looking like featherweight. And the owl, dang it all, is just super cute, but I love owls. Mally says, currently it's of the same class, but that might change, because it will happen so rarely. Yeah, during conversations. Okay, cool. Then I'm not out of my mind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, like, box off. I should actually set this up to be a color. Let's do that. Neat. Set up my other color, so that when we get through one of these, like, draw a little box around some of the ones that we might take further. Soapbox is super cute. I want to draw a box around the owl, but it breaks the rules, so I don't think we can do that. Excuse me. A bell for teacher. Maybe. Like a school bell? I actually have a little bell that we've already drawn. Let's see. Got my little mint tea. Because I feel like, yeah, that is a... Okay, let's try and imagine this as being square. So I'll pull my references over here so you guys aren't totally in the dark. So the bell that I drew is actually more like this guy, and it's hiding in one of these sketch layers, which are all helpfully named things like Sketch Doodle and Sketch Sketch. Oh, there it is. Cool. Lucky. We're good. So yeah. Oh yeah, there's a couple in here. So here's a butterfly that we might use for something later. That's kind of the fun part about this, is through all of these things are like little bits of trial and error, but nothing goes to waste. A lot of these things started out as one thing, but wound up getting used for something else. So here's the bell. Which are we? There you live. Give me that. Borrow you. Wow, computer's running a little slow. Can I have it? Where'd you go? Oh, it's over there now. Cool. Let's just put that over here so we can really see it with everything else. I'm sorry, Mally. I name my layers lots of things, especially when it's something like a big sketchpad file like this one. Don't worry, there's a cleaner working file. It's just this is easier for me because I like having everything in one place. It does look like a dinner bell though. This is why it's a little weird. Yeah, why don't we move on? Because I think we've spent we've spent a ton of the stream on just one. So you can see how this could actually wind up taking a pretty long time for each of these, especially when we start getting into things like gregarious. What in the world would you even show for that? But on that subject, let's hop into one that's gonna be a little bit more complicated. What object would we use for charismatic? So I'm gonna like do a little thing there. Charismatic. So we're talking about somebody who like has that certain, I guess, way about them, like with that hearthlings pay attention to that hearthling, and when they're up they have a tendency of bringing other hearthlings up, and I guess when they're down that could do that too. Yeah, so Burning Build says a star. That's a good start. Start. I did that. I should throw myself off the bridge. We got a little lumpy, weird star guy here. It sounds like someone is having a party outside. A heart. Okay, Big Anime Freak calls out a heart. So the heart is actually really charged iconography inside Stonehearth. When you see it, it tends to mean like vitality, health, in some cases, injured. So we try to avoid throwing that one around where we can. And also there are certain traits that if we do use the heart, it will lend itself better, like empathetic. Which I'm not exactly sure how that one works, but I think it, little star guy there. We can also do like a 4-point star, but I think it's a little less of a superstar type deal. All right, so again, we're working on charismatic. We've got these fun spangly friends. Keep forgetting I can hold down shift and get straight lines. A smile does break the roller coasters, Paul. Speech bubble, that's a fun idea. It's a little bit out of bounds. Also, funny you should mention speech bubbles. It's actually something I've been working on a lot lately. Has been speech bubbles for conversations. More on that later. So we'll do something like that. Maybe something that calls back to the inspired effect. Inspired. I think, isn't inspired an exclamation point? I'm trying to think about the little icon. Shoot, it's been a while. Charisma is all about force of personality, says Sir Andres. Parker Family also says a flag. How do you represent a force of personality visual without doing a model of a person, people? Yeah, that's exactly the thing. I think it's important to note, too, that it doesn't have to translate super directly. Whatever it is we wind up going with in the end, you'll still know that that's what it stands for. It will come to represent that in the language, but we try to keep it as cute and relevant as we can. This one's tough. That's right, that's right. When the knights are near the hearthling, they inspire them. A status effect. Right, it's a flame. Ah, shoot, we've already used the flame. Well, a knight's helmet could be cool. I hope that wouldn't mean knight. Somebody might think this means knight. Just try to think of, like, somebody that's, like, super rad. The hearthling that just, like, gets all the other hearthlings, like, all riled up and excited, all fired up. This is a really lousy looking knight's helmet. But this is the plume, if you can't tell by how aggressively poofy it is. We don't want to use the shield for sure, because that's already down here. Maybe that's too military. A megaphone, that could be funny. Yeah. A megaphone might also be fun for opinionated. Spotlight on a stage. Almost, almost. It would be hard to, Wow, what do megaphones even look like? And how do we make it look all cute and Stonehearthy? It can't look too modern. Let's see. There we go. Megaphone! I'm gonna move this over here just in case Google goes nuts on us. Okay, cool. Lots of good silhouettes over here. Megaphone's a really fun idea. Oh my gosh, look at this horrifying happy face. It's like got a million teeth. Oh, so scary. Alright, give it like the little guy down here. Little handle. Might confuse megaphone with a leader, though, says Megashub. Oh, see you later, Mally. Thanks for joining the stream. It's true, though, Megashub. It might wind up having kind of a... It just got real dark. Hello? Hang on, I can fix this. Whoop! Wow. And I almost fell out of the chair. And that would have been entertaining for everybody. For me later. Present day me, not so much. Present day me would have been on the ground and sad. Falling is so good. Cool. So megaphone, yeah, as I was saying, there might be a dual meaning, but really that's kind of something that we run into with a lot of these, especially as we start getting into more abstract concepts. Not everything lends itself immediately to one particular symbol, so we have to kind of make do with it and hope that we can kind of bridge that gap with our imagination. So is it going to be perfect? No, I don't think anything we pick is going to be the one thing that does it all. Ah, monster behind you, says Bruno Supremo. Don't even joke. I am literally still afraid of the dark. Super chicken. That's me. Allie's super chicken strom. That's what they called me in school. It made me all sad. It's a lie. No one ever has called me that, but now they might. Alright, I'm getting into that megaphone, so we need to back it off a little bit. Need to fix this chair situation. There we go. Now I'm more comfortable. Okay, that's not bad. This does feel a little military. This, I think, is promise. Have I missed anything? Oh, a horn. Yeah. That would be good. And in fact, this is a symbol, even like the shape that I'm drawing now, this is a symbol that is used in the Knight's iconography. Anachronistic, that was the word I was thinking of before. There we go. So that's a really cool idea. I love that. Because, yeah, it kind of calls out to, like, a charismatic type of figure, the way that we have, like, the Knight's stats and stuff set up in the game. It's like, oh, this is somebody that other Hearthlings can look to. They have literally got an effect that causes them to inspire people around them. But this doesn't feel as military as, like, showing off a helmet. So it's not, like, it doesn't have a particular bend to it. That's really neat. The banner, since it draws the Hearthlings to it, that's a good idea. What do we want to get? Let's go ahead and move this, I'm not a fan of erasing thumbnails, but I feel like that one doesn't really have a second life, so, I didn't already draw a banner. Oh, I did! I already drew a standard. Never mind. Give that a little more of a fleshing out. The cool part about, okay, so traits are, these are always really, really fun to work on, but they can be so dang hard to come up with. Once they are there, though, like once you know what it is you want, they take about 2 seconds to draw, which is neat, because nothing else really takes 2 seconds to draw. And that is mostly in part thanks to the style guide, because we have it all spelled out how it is you go about making these, like down to the width of the line and everything. Megaphone reminds me of Feel Good Inc. for some reason. I was actually thinking about that album today. Wild. Might have to listen to that later. Cool. All right. I think we've got some really neat ideas for charismatic. Love this. This could do it. The stars, I think. Yeah, I think I like the 5-point star better than the 4-point star. Like, this is a superstar, right? I'm gonna draw a little box by Megaphone, because I still like it. Wow, alright, cool. Rafe says, I have great ideas when I'm too tired to filter nonsense. It's, actually, you have a point, honestly. Like, the best stuff comes out when you're just throwing stuff at the wall. Like, if the first thing, if you're always going with, like, the first thing that pops into your head, 100% for sure, it is not the best you can do. So a big part of it is loosening up and being willing to just, like, throw stuff out there and honestly make a lot of garbage. Not that I'm saying that we make garbage. I don't think that about any of the streams that we've done. But what I mean is, like, you don't go in thinking you're gonna get, like, the perfect answer to everything right away. And this part's fun too. Like, this is the part where you can be kind of loosey-goosey and fun with it all. Sarandaries makes a good point. If you go with the knight angle for leader, you could go with the cleric angle for with empathetic. So this is fun too because it starts recycling some of the language that is just built into Stonehearth. So I'm gonna go ahead and write a little note. That's really smart. We might not get quite this far today. Again, we're spending a whole lot of time on these, which is awesome because I think it's gonna make them a lot stronger, and it's a lot more fun to work on these as a group than it is just me sitting at my desk going, yeah, I think this is a good idea. We're gonna make this, oh no, it's gonna get pink in here. Oh, avert your eyes. Sorry, let me fix that. And that'll do. Let's see. Let's pull our frames over. This looks like it got cropped a bit. Neat. So now we have a bit more of our sketch pad to work with. Okay, we're on the right layer. And by that logic, loner could refer to the trapper profession. Yep, that's a fun way. More the personalities that gravitate towards those roles without requiring A to B. Yeah, that's really fun. So, so we could be like trapper. So finding a way of doing that could be really fun. Gregarious, maybe the cook. Yeah, I don't know. So gregarious and loner are interesting because similar to optimist and pessimist, it'd be really cool if we could find something that plays off of each other. And that's something that is very difficult to do. So I've got about 20 minutes left in the stream. So why don't we go ahead and take those on and see if we can just start getting some ideas flowing for those. And again, we don't have to zero in on exactly what it is we're going to do, like 100% yes, we know it, but just to get some ideas going around, and that'll be super awesome because we can actually like take those back and jam on them further later on. So what would we do? Because you can't really think of either of these in isolation since they're polar, but it needs to be something that bounces off the other one, similar to the way that optimist and pessimist, for instance, we've got like the rain cloud versus the rainbow. Even in the name, there's like a tie together of the theme. It's a weather thing, and it's abstract. It's really abstract. So it doesn't have to actually be a thing. We try to definitely avoid like depictions of characters and animals, but it can also be a symbol. All of the friendly people I know are very insistent on feeding folks, say Rafe. I wonder what the connection is. Sociable versus keep their own company. I'll go ahead and I guess start with, oh shoot, we've already used the cook pot. Well, we didn't use the cook pot on its own, so we'll just draw that down anyway. So this one's definitely gonna be a fighter. Let's put on our what in the world are we gonna do with this hats. Little cook pot. Super cruddy looking, but 'tis my shorthand. Yep, Coaster's Ball, 2 people versus 1 people would be obvious, but of course it's against the rules. Yep. So we can't do something like this. Yay! And then like a little happy dude by himself. Yay! And that's the other thing that's really important too, is you're not necessarily trying to show like one is superior to the other. It's a personality feature. We're not trying to make it seem like damning or anything like that. A beer mug versus a canteen. That's kind of fun. Oh yeah, Lama Lila. The ones in red boxes are things that we've called out that have legs. We'll continue to develop on them. How about a chair for Loner and a bench for Gregarious? That's really cute. So like Loner, you'd have like either like a single stool, and then Gregarious, you'd have like this stool looks really, really awful. Wow. Huh. Shh, it's beautiful. You know what, let's give it a back. Let's make this a chair with a back. Though it won't fill the space as nice, I don't think. You know what, let's find out. This one will be the stool. That's cute though. And then Gregarious is a bench. Ooh, just got dizzy. Gotta think of a way of depicting this that isn't all like full of angles and is still kind of relatively square and cutesy. When in doubt, make it really square and chunky. Might have to change that up just a little bit. It doesn't quite read yet. But I still love the idea. Seat for one, seat for two. Little leg sticking out. Super cute. The clay chair is stool-like, if that helps. Yeah, that does. Let's go ahead and try one that's got a back to it, just to see what that looks like. Facing the front, that's just not a very exciting way of looking at that. Also, what is that curve? We don't do that. Not in trait icons. That's too busy. Also, it's like way too even. So there's like not a thing. Like with the stool, it's like, the focal point is the seat, and then you got the cute little legs sticking out the bottom. But with this one, it's like, what are we focusing on? Is it the seat? Is it the chair back? So something's got to give. Also, that just doesn't look very good. Not yet, anyway. Maybe the stool is the way to go. I think it would read fine. For this idea, anyway. Alright. Cool. So far, this is a really cute way of kind of hinting at that. What else can we do? Table for one versus table for two, so that's a similar idea, but we would have a hard time, doing that with only one symbol, because we would need, like, tables with chairs, or tables with like, a place setting, or something like that. Someone called out a beer mug versus a canteen. That was Shanga BP. So that's not a bad idea. I guess we'll have to figure out if it's okay to show a beer mug. Versus a canteen. Let me do a reference really quick. It's always important, especially when it's like, oh, I think I know what this looks like. Hello, big hat. Especially because we have to make everything into squares. Excuse me. Google, you really don't need to know my location. I'm telling you. That's cute. Yeah, little dude there. Oh, the moon and the sun. That could be really cute. Oh, wait, we already used the moon. Shoot, no. We used the moon for Night Owl. Whoops. Try again. Sorry. That's a really good idea, though. I like it. You know what? I think we're gonna, like, be super crazy and turn the canteen on its side. Whoa! I just did that. It doesn't really look like anything just yet, but now that I've explained it to you, you can see it in your imagination. Mind blown. So that's really cute. So we have like objects that would pertain to somebody in a more social setting versus somebody who's more on their own, as the A candle for Loner and a candelabra for Gregarious. Helvenrod, that's also a really cool idea. However, the cultist uses the candle as their symbol, so that starts to sneak into their territory. I like that idea a lot, though. It's super cute. If in doubt, it's a root beer mug. Exactly. So yeah, maybe... Oh, what about a teacup? Like tea for two? It's a little more, Shoot. Be a teacup. Be a teacup, not a coffee cup. So maybe something like that would be okay. Might have to give it a little saucer, but I don't know. Teacup versus teapot. Torch versus fire pit. Yeah, that's... Oh man, you're right. So the social, like, I guess the epitome of social in Stonehearth is probably the hearth itself with, like, the fire in it. It would definitely take some fiddling to get something that would feel good as a trait icon. Like, it's such a busy thing. And we already used the fire for, we already used the fire... Excuse me, please. We already used the fire for, hothead. But maybe, like, a different kind of fire. Like, there's a little log or something in it. And then instead of, either like a torch or maybe even the lantern. Like, I thought that... Don't you do it. I thought that the lantern would be cool for Fear of the Dark. But... There we go. But torch could also be, Fear of the Dark. What about a wall hearth and the inside is red? And a cave for Loner. Roses for Gregarious and a cave for Loner. Okay, hang on. Let's, Big Anime Freak is asking the very secret question of what does the cultist do? And how does it affect the person? You'll just have to find out someday. Right, where were we? Yeah, so the hearth is going to be a difficult one to translate without stepping on the toes of Hothead. Oh, I like the little swirly flames. It's my favorite. Maybe there's a way to figure that out. And then, like, the lantern, or otherwise the torch. What else? What else? What else? Hey, good evening, Halo Kills. J-Shab, yes. Yes, we did move. I am not broadcasting from a secret location that I cannot tell you. This is our new office, and it's very big and very shiny and not empty. Just this room has not quite been decorated just yet. We will get on that at our nearest available convenience. It's been our first week in here. It's been insane, really crazy. Just seeing how much, like, everything has grown. Like, it feels super weird. Like, we have a very small, very tight, very awesome little team, and now just, like, seeing all this stuff just is super super crazy to me. It's just like, whoa. A bowl with 1 spoon versus 2 spoons. Feral Gerald is saying, yeah, there is a lantern already made. I could have just grabbed that, but I went over here and doodled it anyway because I got distracted. Halo Kills says, maybe a loner is a hearthling on an island. We want to stay away from showing like a hearthling themselves, but maybe having, like, no, I don't know if we can get an island to read. That would be a lot of things, because that's not bad. Maybe grassland for loner and a flower for gregarious. That's not a bad idea. So, like, you have, like, a cool flower. Where did my Google go? My Google! Yes. Well, that feels a bit like a sprout. Like, that has something to do with farmers. So maybe not, but I like the idea a lot. Let's see. Flower versus a bouquet and a teacup versus a teapot. Yep, that's really fun. Loner being happy by himself, and gregarious would be two hearthlings posing for a picture together for gregarious. That's Ohei's idea, and I love it. It's a really, really good idea. But unfortunately, it breaks our trait icon rules a little bit. We gotta stay away from showing depictions of the hearthlings themselves. So if you think of these as like small, compact charms or objects that any given character would have like embarked with to their new settlement. This is just something that they keep with them at all times, either physically or metaphorically. They don't actually exist in the game, but when in terms of thinking about what they are to the hearthling, that's a good way of framing it. Maybe like a cat. They are social. Cats are social. I agree. Well, my cats are, but they think they're dogs. That's funny. A dog for loner and a cat for social. I feel like a lot of people would say it's the other way. Like a wolf howling at the moon versus a couple of cute cats. Halo Kills is like a... Loner could be a single flower in a vase, while gregarious is a box of chocolates. Actually, the idea of doing like one flower versus like a bouquet is really fun. So if we were to... Bear with me here, this is gonna look really bad. You know what? That's too complicated. But if we had a simpler looking flower, we could probably get away with that. Donut flowers to the rescue. So let's get rid of our little grass friend here. So like loner is just one flower. And then gregarious has lots of flowers. Gregarious I feel like could also be a butterfly. How about a family pendant for gregarious, and a loner can be something referencing something that they did in the past? It's a beautiful idea, actually. I think that's really poetic, but it might be a bit hard to... It might be a bit harder to express. I like the idea of doing like a locket, though, of some kind. Like I feel like that feels very secret. That feels very precious. But this is... I don't know. This feels really cute. I don't think we've been here before. Alright, so far, for sure, I think my favorites have been, I'm gonna do some outlining. Wow, the hour is just really flown by. I think my favorites have definitely been like these guys. I think is still a really fun way of doing it. That's super clever. The flowers I really love, because they relate to each other, but it's pretty, I think it's good. I think it's really good. I feel like there's definitely something in here, but it needs some work. So I'm gonna like underline this because Lord knows we need more complexity in our visual markers here. Halo Kill says a locket could apply to a trait for favoring lavish or valuable items. I don't know, or maybe something like secretive. But I don't know if that's ever going to be a trait, like, or how that would even manifest in the game. Like, I don't know where that lantern went. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, they just hide things or something, but it sounds like kind of a weird klepto thing. I don't know, this feels very... Something like this might... We're gonna, like, doodle this down and save it for a rainy day. Because there might be something at some point that wants this locket. Materialistic. Friendship bracelets for gregarious. That's fun. Wonder, let's see, friendship bracelets when I was a kid looked a certain way. Let's see if Google remembers. They were really, really tough to make. Yep, that's what they looked like. No, not quite. So, yeah, we used to make these all the time. It was tough. A lot of work. Materialistic, nostalgic. Yeah, I think those are also very good words to describe, like, a locket situation. Like, just holds on to things that have happened. I don't know. For me, like, I look at that and I see sentiment. But I could also understand, like, looking at that and seeing materialistic. Something just flew through my dang head. A mask like in the fairy tale balls for social... Oh, yeah, Tamora, I did see that. And Rafe also says a social butterfly. That's right. Behold, it's a butterfly. We can do better than that. I'm just trying to like get that down really fast before I forget. Because I saw the mask comment earlier, but I was in the middle of something else. And I want to make sure that we get that down. So like a gathering or a social event. Doop. Reminds me of Mardi Gras. I haven't been to Mardi Gras in years. I'm actually, I was born in New Orleans. We used to go every year. Now I'm in California, so that's a little tough. A flock of birds could be social? Yeah. Lieutenant Campbell says maybe it could be a worthless filler icon like the pendant from Dark Souls. Maybe. The beer mug would be better if there were 2 mugs, like a cheer. Oh, I kind of agree with you, Shanga, but I wonder, like, I don't know if it's okay to use an alcohol reference as the only thing. Like, that might, we might run into some friction with that one, but I do love it. I love the idea. Oh, cool! Yeah, awesome! So Parker Family says I go to Mardi Gras Mobile every year. That's great. We were usually on the North Shore, but, like, there were a couple of parades on the South Shore that were really worth going to. Like, the floats were just gorgeous, and the marching bands were super good. Apple cider mug, or root beer, right. Yes. Hey, welcome, Lanalviaka? I'm sorry if I'm murdering your name. As always, let me know if there's a way to pronounce that is better than what comes out of my face. I guarantee there will be. I'm also really sorry to say that we're about out of time. We are coming up on the hour, and we have been doodling like crazy people for the entirety of it, and coming up with some really clever stuff. I'm super proud of these. I hope you guys are as well, and thank you so much for everything that you've contributed to this. Like, no kidding, these are going to help us a ton. And again, it's a lot more fun to do this as a group than it is to go off on my own and just try to drum up some of these things, you know, many minds all together. Put a 0% alcohol note on it, says Shanga. Yes, it's perfect. Well, a cheer doesn't need to be done with a beer glass. Any cup will do, says Rafe. That's a really good point. You could even do that with little teacups. Though this starts to get into the, hey, you're only supposed to use one symbol thing, I'm still going to note that down because, again, that's something that might come back to us later as an idea. Chink. Parker Family is asking, when will the next stream be? So we do our streams every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And we do it in like a full rotation of the entire team. So some weeks you get an art stream from either myself or Matt Malley, who is the animator on our team and tech artist. And sometimes you'll get a stream from like Richard or no, not, I guess not, Chris. Like, we all jump in and trade it off. So, and the idea behind that is so that, well, it is a lot of fun. Like, we used to do like a dedicated art stream every Wednesday morning, for instance. But, and while that's a lot of fun, the idea behind doing it this way is that when you guys tune in every week, you get to see like a different aspect of something that we are currently working on, like throughout the entire team. So it's not just one thing. And yeah, like seriously, this is something that I'm currently in the middle of producing day to day as part of my workload among a bunch of other things. So you guys are actually contributing to Stonehearth. And when you tune into other people's streams, you kind of get a peek into what they do every day as well, working on this game for all of you. And it's super delightful, and we all really get a kick out of it. Like, again, this was kind of a surprise art stream. Like, I wasn't scheduled for another couple of weeks out. But it's like, I really miss doing the weekly art streams because like that was super, super fun. So like it's always a blast to like be on the air and like talking to everybody and like doing this stuff together as a team. Like, this is fun for me, and I love hearing from everybody. Let's see. Parker Family says, I've been here when Chris was here before, but that was a while back and streams are always daily for him. That was before my time, I guess. Empathetic is really tricky, says Sarandaries. How does one represent visually the common bonds between people? Right. Yeah. No, I miss it a lot, Sarandaries. It was super fun. Actually, Rafe, what you're saying is some sort of opposite or partner to Stonehearth. So we have the callous trait. Oh god, hi there, hello, whoa, hi, comp Photoshop. It's gonna be okay, Photoshop, calm down. So we have the callous trait, and it's this rock, which is everyone's favorite, actually. I wish I was kidding. We've made this rock into an icon in our team Slack. I don't even know what we use it for. It's just there. So that's actually a really good point. So we have something here that can feed into that. Shrenga says, I've been watching these since the game was on Kickstarter. Best fun I've actually had. I've had actually learning stuff. That is amazing. I'm really, really glad to hear that. Yes, that is exactly why we put these things on. It's so you guys have like a direct way to like reach out and see what it is that we get up to. Like, we're over here working on this game every single day, trying to make it awesome, and we want you to be a part of it, and we want to give you as much visibility on it as we possibly can while we go through all this stuff. What about a rock with moss for empathy? I don't know. Let's go ahead and note that down. That was Sarandries who said that idea. We'll just do a little, give it a little hat, little rock hat. It's kind of cute. The moss is like, it's okay, Rock. I understand how you feel. There you go. It's got little peaceful eyes. Or like an interlocking stone structure of some sort, like a chain. That's pretty fun. Tom and Tony fam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that would have definitely been before my time. I think the moss icon would grow on me, says Coaster's Ball. And I said that out loud when it was painful, but I do this for you. Anyway, this has been a super awesome stream. I think we did some really cool stuff, and unfortunately, we are at the end of our time this time. So thanks so much everybody for tuning in and for contributing really awesome ideas, for throwing them out there and helping us find really cool stuff that sticks. Seriously, there's some stuff in here that I don't think I would have come up with on my own. And it's just, it's such a pleasure. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, definitely keep an eye out for some of these. I'm sure you'll see finished and realized versions of a couple of them. The next time we roll out with new traits, which of course will have shiny fancy new icons that you might be able to be like, hey, we totally helped with those, it was awesome. So yeah, this is going to help us all a ton. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic the rest of your day and the rest of your week, and please tune in next week at Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, to see what we're up to then. It should be a lot of fun. Wait, I lost everything. Hang on a minute. Oh, I found everything. Neat. Okay. Sorry about that. That was super awkward. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody, and talk to you all super soon. Tune in next time to see what we get up to, and yeah, have a fantastic the rest of your day.